Okay, so here's my update to that putting liquid metal on the G13 and not getting the results I thought I should get. Except for the temperatures. The temperatures looked great, but the boost wasn't any better. Um, and the single core performance was worse the first time I tested it. Um, I tested it a few more times and the scores was better. Like it was better than without the liquid metal, but not very much better. So and maybe it was already so good that there's not much more headroom. Like my score before before the liquid metal was already as high as DeBauer's after he used liquid metal. But um, I'm gonna take it apart and take a look and see. I'm gonna put those little films back on that I forgot to put on, and let's just see how well the liquid metal spread, how good a contact it looked like it made, and yeah, let's uh, let's see here. I might add a little bit more. Oh yeah, I forgot I gotta pop off these and I don't know why it was. So this, let's see. It doesn't make sense. There's a GPU fan and CPU fan. Both fans have heat pipes going to both. But I guess this is on the GPU side and this is on the CPU side. And this is the one that was shutting off, so. Does that only have 3 wires going to it? And this one has 4? Huh. Did a wire get ripped out? Now let me pull this. I'll just flip this over and then I can get to those a little bit easier. Yeah. Hold on. I haven't disconnected the battery. I'm too rushed. Okay. Battery's disconnected. I haven't tried to discharge anything yet either. I'll just finish popping these out and then I will. Well, shoot. Sorry. It's a work day now. My phone's probably going to be ringing off the hook. Okay. All right. So I've got the heatsink off completely. I'm going to check. This one was fine. Just will not shut up today. And it never does. And then this, yeah, 4 wires. They all look good. Okay. And if anything, I would say maybe the GPU is a little light on the liquid metal. The CPU looks fine. I'm going to spread it a little bit more, anyways. See, stick this puppy back on there. Squeegee it down, and it'll be okay. And oh, it looks like, huh? So the RAM chips did not make contact. All of them didn't make contact over here. That is a problem. How can that be? Huh? Yeah, they didn't touch at all. A lot of that did not touch very well. It's funky. Quite funky, I gotta say. I don't know if I should maybe thicken up the thermal paste on there or make sure I tighten everything a little more next time. But that could be why I'm not getting better scores. You know, if my VRM's running too hot, RAM's running too hot. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I think, huh. I mean, I shouldn't have to add more. It should just make contact. I think I just have to tighten the screws up more. So it looks like some of the screws through the bottom, I think, hold everything together, especially in the back here. So yeah, I will add a tiny bit. Look, it's already drying up pretty good on the GPU here. So I'll add a tiny bit more liquid metal, spread it. Okay. And then really tighten everything back up. It's crazy though. I mean, it made great contact on the CPU and GPU, but and they have their four, screws around them separate from all the screws that are going to hold everything else together. Okay. Spread, 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 spread. I don't know if respreading this quickly is going to help with the alloy that it forms. I mean, it looks like it already started, but I'm sure it's still going to soak into the copper, react with the copper still some more. So, sure, I'm going to have to respread it again in a couple months, anyways. And that's one thing that's nice, though. Once it has started to soak in, and it spreads a lot easier the next time. Oh my gosh. And there's the phone again. Hold on. It was a butt dial. Okay, I silenced my phone. But yeah, so I have the liquid metal spread. Tiny little bit too much right here. I'm not super comfortable with. Let's suck that up. That is something you can do. Um, if you have too much, if it's pulled up, you can suck it back up. Okay, now Still looks like there's plenty of heat paste on everything. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this all back together now, and we're gonna make sure we get it much tighter this time. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fan plugs in now. It's just upside down. Yeah. Okay. Now this one. This one's really tough. It's like all the way up against the SSD. Okay. That wasn't so bad, I guess. All right. And pull these cables up out of the way. Being very careful. Wi-Fi cable. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll push down. Let me tighten all this back up. Starts here with 1. 2. 3. And 4. Oh, and it did start boosting a little bit higher on me. I got it up to 44. So it was 4391, I think, was the max boost. After I ran a few more Cinebench runs, it ended up hitting 5, like 4418, I think. So it did get a little higher on the boost. Not a lot, not 150 plus megahertz like DeBauer got, but there was some kind of noticeable difference. Not that, that 25 watts or whatever really made a difference. Yeah, I feel like going through and just making sure. Probably all I had to do last time was just tighten up some screws and it would have been better. So after I go through here with this electric screwdriver, I'm going to go through and tighten them all by hand. Okay. screwdriver, and I will hit everything again. Starting with 1. Nice and tight. 2, 3, 4. Gosh dang it, I've got to answer this one. Okay, I'm back. I don't remember what screw I tightened. I think I tightened up all of these. So then it jumps to this one, number 5, 4, or 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those are nice and tight. I would say it's the, well, I don't know. Is it the, yeah, it's got to be the screws that go through the bottom. They kind of hold it. Well, they hold it here. They're going to hold it. So there's these 2 screws. No, oh, okay, there's these 2 screws. And then outside screws. So nothing's really pushing down over here. So, huh. I don't know if I just kind of press it. I mean, certainly I didn't bend it when I was working it. Okay, just make sure it's nice pressed fit everywhere. Alrighty. Am I forgetting anything this time? Don't believe so. I almost feel like there was something else I was getting ready to do. I don't know. I cannot remember now. So, and then going to go ahead and, geez, why don't you stick? Whatever. Plug back in the battery. Okay. Yeah, I'll just rip that off. Stick that back down. All right. CPU fan. I mean, it looks good. Just gonna double check they're in nice and tight. I know it is, but I don't want it shutting off like it was. I have a feeling every time it shut off is when the temperature got down to like 27°C. So I wonder if it thinks that it's gonna just keep getting colder and colder and it doesn't want to form condensation or something. I don't know. It might think it's being used like outside in the wintertime. Okay. Right. So yeah, I'll throw all these in this electric screwdriver first, and I'll go back over and hand tighten everything again. I think I'll start in the middle and work my way out. Same size. Yeah, I'm wondering if these screws, if the yellow thread lock is a little longer than the screws with the blue. No, they're the same. Okay. About ready to kick it back on and see its behavior. I was pretty stoked when I seen that it boosted a little higher. Now that one definitely holds something tight. Um, but it was only on one one core that it boosted that high also. I didn't see it in the act of boosting, but I seen on hardware info or hardware monitor that it boosted a little higher at some point. And I think it might have been during Cinebench multi-thread. Okay, go back over everything by hand. Hopefully we're making good contact with all of the RAM chips this time. Move this to where you can kind of maybe see what I'm doing. Maybe a little bit. Looks bad, doesn't it? Oh gosh. That had to have been super loud through the microphone. I'm sorry, I don't think about that kind of stuff. Okay. Make sure we're on turbo there. See what hardware monitor says. 4391 still, although it's not been put under a load. Um, Sitting at 27C with the stock fan curve. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and run a couple of tests. I'm not gonna recording the test because I'm gonna turn the fans all the way up, and these fans are really loud. So to save you the torture, I'll be right back. Okay, so no improvement. Um, Temperature still, max temperature is 59. I ran multi-core twice. The first time max temperature got up to 58. The next time it got up to 59. Max boost is still 4391. So it didn't even hit the boost it was hitting before. Just one time in one core. But I know there's headroom. I mean, if the max temperature is only 59, there's definitely plenty of headroom. I don't know if there's a problem with PBO or something. I need to check drivers or something, I guess, because it should be doing better. Um, Multi-threaded is still good, but it's lower than my highest score I got was 4373, and I just got 4332. I ran the first time I got 4331, second time 4332. Um, and it still did that thing where the fan shut off. But I noticed it's when it got all the way down to 29 degrees. I think it's 29, like 79 Fahrenheit is when it shut off. It didn't kick back on until it got up to like 55 degrees. So I wonder if I didn't let it cool all the way down where the fan, because I started running Cinebench when the fan wasn't running, and it ran for a while until the fan turned on. So if I wonder if I let it get almost to where it's going to shut off, but it's still running full blast, and then start Cinebench, if that score would be a little bit higher. But I shouldn't have to do that. Like, it should be boosting higher. But thermals are good. Thermals are great, and and my scores are great, but they just should be better. I had a better score here at one point. I think it was last night after I did the liquid metals when it got up to 4373. So, um, yeah, I'm going to try that thing where I don't let the fan shut off and run it again, and then I'm going to run single core and see what happens. Okay, so I've ran a few more tests. Got HW Info 64 open here. I wanted to get a little more information than I was getting from HW Monitor. Can't really make much sense out of a lot of it. My clocks are about the same. It's still like it's not boosting. It was showing like an effective clock somewhere, which it said was higher. I don't remember where that's at. Right around here. Effective clock hit 4317 at one point. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, no. 44, over 44 is what I'm looking for. Yeah, 4392, so I was getting 4391. So really no difference. Probably a difference in reporting from one program to the other or something. But I got a single core score of 495, which is higher than a 9900K stock, which is 493. So, I mean, that's really great. I can't complain about that. And multi-core of 4390, which a 9900K multi-core is 4516. So it's pretty close. It's really good. Um, but I'm still not getting boosts. I'm wondering. So I downloaded AMD's drivers from their website, and I downloaded Ryzen Master, and it doesn't work on this. But I'm wondering if that might have screwed something up, if that turned off PBO or something, and it's just not letting it boost anymore. Because my max temperature still is like 59, 60 degrees. So it's got so much headroom. Like, laptops are usually made to run at like 99 degrees, you know? And just like the temperatures usually don't lower whenever you increase the cooling. Usually it will just, you've got more boosting capability there, so it'll just boost up higher and still get to the same temperature. It's not doing that. It's running. It's not taking advantage of that. Ryzen's supposed to really take advantage of that. So I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, it's got to be some kind of driver issue or something. I checked the BIOS. There's nothing in the BIOS where you can adjust any of that. Um, and then I checked Armory Crate, and you can't change clock frequency or anything in here, as far as I can tell. Um, all you can change is fan profile. So, like, when you go to manual mode, you can change the fan profiles if you want. There's a couple here for the CPU. You can actually overclock the GPU on here, but not the CPU. So that's something I need to look into. I already knew you could overclock the GPU because I've got Afterburner installed. um, yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on. CPU's not boosting like it should, but the liquid metal did make a big difference. It's running really cool, and I'm getting great numbers. That should be better if it was boosting higher. So, we'll see. Actually, I might be able to overclock the GPU a little bit more now too. I wasn't even thinking of that. So, um, that's something I'm gonna mess with next. Um, I don't have any bench. Let me see if I've got some benchmarks saved from before, and I might. Hold on a sec. No, I don't. That's a shame. So, but yeah, that's something I'll mess with. I'm sure I could probably overclock it a little bit higher now. Except you can't unlock the voltage slider, so maybe I won't be able to get it any higher. I don't know, um, but it runs cooler. Hopefully the memory. It really stinks. This memory doesn't have a sensor in it because I would like to see the temperature of the memory. So I might run a stress test on it to make sure that heat sink's pushed up against it good. Um, but yeah, I mean it's running better. I'm getting awesome scores. That should be more awesome, but hard to complain with 4390 and 495. Like, you know, as good or better than a 9900K. That's incredible out of a tiny little laptop like this. Only pulling what was the max watts? Um where was it? Maximum 64 watts. Yeah. CPU core power 59, package power 64.6, so 65 watts. So 65 watts single core is as good as a 9900K, and multi-core is almost as good. So that's uh that's awesome. It's very awesome. So thanks for watching. If I figure out the boosting issue, or if anybody has any ideas what I'm doing wrong, you know, let me know. If I'm just being stupid and completely, spacing out something that I should know, you, you can be harsh if you want, if it's that obvious. But yeah, thanks.